As Hull ordered the ship to make sail, the wind suddenly stopped. Boats were lowered to tow the ship to keep her moving. The British imitated the maneuver, sending their boats to tow the flagship HMS Shannon. The pursuing ships gained on the fleeing Constitution. Then a lieutenant named Charles Morris suggested a new strategy, kedging. Kedging was a maneuver used by ships for navigating crowded channels. The ship's anchor and cable were rowed out as far as possible by boats, dropped into the water, and then pulled back using the ship's capstan, pulling the ship forward. The sailors set to work attaching a length of rope to the anchor cables. The maneuver worked, and Constitution slowly moved forward. Chase continued another full day, with sailors rowing ahead, dropping the anchors, and pulling their ship forward.
Welcome to CP101, and we are on my tablet. Mainly because the tablet is just much easier to use to show you the gun deck than my Canon. So we're just going to use this temporarily. I think I fixed it. The problem with my last video, I wasn't too sure why it wouldn't play for some people, but I might have fixed it. I don't know. We'll try it. We'll see. But anyway, we've got some barrels on this gun deck. And these barrels are 3D printed barrels. They were painted black and then dry brushed with some wood tones. And then the bands were gone over with a gold marker to highlight the bands. And just adding the barrels alone made a big difference in the deck. I'm just trying to add a little life to it. To me, it just seemed barren without something going on down there. And even though you're not going to see most of this deck, as I said before, you're just going to see the center of it. I still want to add all this just for my benefit, I guess. But anyway, so we've got the barrels glued down using plain old white glue. In fact, I used this glue right here. I'm trying to keep from moving so much since I'm using my tablet. But we're using this, and yeah, it does a good job. I want to save the Canopy 560 I have for the spar deck, so that's why I'm using that stuff instead for the barrels, because that'll be good enough for the barrels to keep them put on the deck. So, but you know, the kit comes with 20 figures, and that's just not enough, in my opinion, for a ship this size. I can't believe that they would only have 20 crew members running a ship like this. So Chris over at HPI Guys Workshop was kind enough to send me this sprue of 20 figures. So now I have a total of 40 because the kit came with 20, and then this, what Chris sent me, is another 20. So that's 40. And but I still wanted more, so I bought this pack of HO scale people, mainly because HO scale is like, what, 187, and this is 196, so they're close enough. Some of these figures are a little too tall, but a lot of them will still work out just fine. So what I have to watch for is the height of the figures, because this shelf right here is what the spar deck sits on. So if any figure is taller than this shelf, and some of those figures in that pack are, I'm going to have issues when I go to install the spar deck. We don't need that. So I've been picking them out, and you know, I'll just set them close to this, and as long as their head stays below or at this shelf, then I know I'm going to be okay. So these are some of the figures that I picked out, and of course they're going to need to be modified to, since these are road workers, they're going to be modified to fit life on the ship. So now a couple will be really easily modified, and the ones I've modified, well, I modified one, but I'll tell you my plans to modify them. Some of these modifications will be real easy, like this guy here that's pushing the barrel. He's actually this guy right here. All I did was cut the wheelbarrow off, so that's going to be an easy modification. Now the guys that have the pick axes, this guy and this guy, we can probably turn those pick axes into ramrods, so we can put them with the cannons. These guys here, they're fine just as they are, so We just have to paint them up. They'll work for working on the deck. These guys here, that looks like they're holding a bottle and a pickaxe. We could probably modify that pickaxe into, we'd probably just remove it and just have them walk around with a bottle of rum partying. So those will be easy to fix. And of course, these guys here and here, they can just stay as is. So that's going to be an easy one. So we're good there. So that's pretty much my plans. We'll get all these figures modified, painted up, and then installed on the deck. And I think we'll be bringing some life to the deck. And I think it'll look pretty good. Yeah. And then once we get all this painted up, glued in place, we'll have to get those front gun port doors on, 2 front ones. I think it'll be ready, finally ready, for the spar deck, which we have to work on that to figure out our lighting, so we can get the gun deck lit up and you can see all these guys down there. So yeah, I think it'll be pretty cool. All right, guys, that's it. Quick update on the Constitution. Stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you in the next video.